Okay, my friends, so here we go. My first trade idea of 2025. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down the US dollar, Canadian dollar price charts for a possible selling trading scenario. This is a swing trade idea, so it can take weeks or months to play out. And it is what I expect to happen over the coming weeks and months, maybe the first quarter of 2025. This is how the US dollar, Canadian dollar will likely play out. So, first off, I take a top down approach to the markets. I look at the monthly and weekly charts first, look for support resistance, supply and demand, just areas where there's likely to be price reversals or price reactions, and then zoom into the lower time frames and use the MACD indicator and basically other things to look to see if for evidence of price action slowing down, momentum slowing down as price comes into these areas. So, first off, monthly charts. We had a breakout and close above the 140, kind of 14500 resistance in December there. We have the next resistance on the monthly charts up at 146, kind of 800 there. You can see the last two times it's hit it in January 2016. And we had a huge rally up to there, then a huge reaction. Then the the beginning of COVID in 2020. Kind of had that daily spike up to that resistance, and then we had the huge sell off. So, will history repeat? We may not get the move up to 146,700 this time or in this swing. Price is very overextended, and when we zoom into the lower time frames, you will see that we already have evidence of price action slowing down and some kind of reversal cues on the weekly charts. Firstly, so if you zoom into the weekly chart now, you can see last week that this week's close candle, kind of a hanging man candle. Here we had the huge push down, and this is kind of a key reversal candle at the top of a trend top of a trend. This is kind of candle you want to see before reversal occurs. For this, I was just trading this candle alone. I want to see uh, next week's weekly candle kind of close below this week's a good close below this week's close. So kind of you'd want this next week the weekly candle kind of drop down and close below this week's close. So weekly charts, if we just look left, we kind of have a resistance here at 145,500. We may get up to there. We will see. So that's what I'm looking at on the weekly. Again, we have also this key breakout zone here at 138,800, which I do think price will retrace back down into this area. But when we're discussing the actual trade idea, I will show you those targets. So zooming into the daily. Okay, we're extremely overextended on this move up. It's kind of nearly 16 or 17 straight weeks. It's been moving up. We are starting to see exhaustion, change of price structure at the top of the range. Prices moved into a sideways distribution range at the top of a trend approaching the key area, key resistance area, which is indicating to me that the market may be getting ready to sell off. Another thing to note was that big surprise in the NFP numbers yesterday in the US. The dollar kind of rallied hard. The euro dropped, the pound dropped, the USDCAD kind of didn't. Initially, it did drop, then rallied back up, then dropped again, and kind of closed the week below where it started. So, kind of another indication to me that we do have buying exhaustion. So, trade idea is a sell trade idea. What I want to see happen next week: two scenarios. First scenario is we get a break above the box, a false breakout up towards this resistance at 145,500 or a little bit below it at 145, key psychological number, and then we get the big sell off. What I'd want to see in that scenario is basically price to move up, and I'd probably sell it at 145 or wait for a sell signal on my TRFX King indicator, wait for a sell signal and on either 4-hour, 6-hour, 8-hour chart, and then get into this position. If that doesn't occur, we don't get the breakout, I'd want to see a huge engulfing candle, just a big red candle here, and then I'd be straight in that on the close of that red candle. I do think the most likely scenario is maybe just a clean drop down towards 139 because it is very overextended. We are seeing evidence of uh, buying exhaustion. If we look at the MACD, the price has been moving up. The MACD has been moving down. We do have clear divergence there. We did have the cross on the moving averages, and the actual moving averages are starting to get wider, even though price is moving up. So that another indication that uh, kind of buyers are exhausted in this move, and the next likely move is to the downside. Targets for this position, again, we zoom out to the weekly. For me, it'll be the monthly close, firstly at 14500. So we could see just something like that. Sorry, I was sparring this morning, so I have a bit of a lisp. I bit my tongue when I was doing some boxing sparring. So sorry about that. Yeah, so maybe get a reaction like that and then back down into the range. So first target will be 14500. Second target will be this kind of breakout zone here from which we broke out in October. This was a trade idea that it didn't work out in October where I thought we would get a reaction and a sell off. We did get the election and the election kind of screwed this to the upside. Huge dollar strength, and we've had this huge impulse move, overextended move to one towards 145. So I do expect in the coming weeks ahead we'll get a move down into this green box area. Stop loss and maybe even further because I do expect the dollar to weaken in the months ahead. I do think it's very overextended and very overvalued, even with the Trump presidency. And yeah, so what we're looking for, we may get the move all the way back, long term move all the way back down towards 132. So it is a sell trade idea. Stop loss will be, of course, above these highs. Uh, Preferably for the best risk reward, we want to see the kind of move up next week and then the huge sell off. Uh, Again, if I do get the red candle here and move straight down, stop loss will be kind of maybe above 145 or 146. So we'll see how that plays out. So that is the trade idea. Looking to sell the USD Canadian dollar. Swing trade idea. So this can take weeks or maybe a month or two to play it out and to complete. It is a great idea. Hundreds of pips on the cards, and longer term, if selling momentum does pick up, we could see nearly a 1300 pip move. Okay, so that is it. Thanks for watching, and let me know what your thoughts in the comments.